Money promises freedom, yet it often chains us to stress and noise. You work, you earn, you spend, but something feels off. The real game isn't math alone. It's behavior, patience, and perspective shaping how your future unfolds. You've seen rich lives crumble and modest lives quietly thrive. Why does that happen? The answer lives in the psychology of money, where our minds steer the wheel more than numbers ever do. Morgan Housel's lessons cut through the hype. He shows how risk, luck, and time twist our path. If you want wealth that lasts, you need stories, habits, and guardrails that hold under pressure. You don't need perfect spreadsheets. You need resilient behavior. Think long horizons, simple rules, and room for error. This is how regular people quietly build fortune while others chase mirages. So tonight, we walk into the dark corners of money. We'll study envy, compounding, survival, and freedom, the real dividend. Keep your mind open and your ego low. The climb starts now. First, context. Money is emotional, social, and deeply personal, shaped by childhood stories. Two people with the same facts still act differently because their maps were drawn by different storms. So, what if you stopped blaming yourself for not being perfectly rational? What if you aimed for reasonable instead? That shift changes everything because it leans into human nature rather than fighting it. We chase status because comparison is a loud whisper in our ears. But status has no finish line. If you run that race, money slips through your fingers while anxiety grows roots. The promise here is simple, not easy. Use humble rules to build wealth you can keep. Protect your downside, respect time, and make peace with uncertainty. The result is quiet power. Let's get tactical yet human. We'll stack ideas like bricks, each one steady, together forming a fortress. You won't outsmart uncertainty, but you can outlast it with discipline and patience. Core concept 1. Getting wealthy is one skill, staying wealthy is another. One sprints, the other endures. Growth loves boldness, survival loves caution. You need both, switching gears at the right moments. Have you noticed how some people rise fast then vanish? They had a growth engine, but no brakes. Wealth needs brakes. Risk management is the seatbelt you never see until you crash. Compounding is the eighth wonder, but here's the catch. It's slow, then sudden. Most of the magic happens late in the game. Surviving long enough to see it is the real superpower. Warren Buffett's returns came mostly after age 60, not because he's superhuman, but because he stayed in the game. Time turned decent returns into an empire. That's the lesson staring at us. But impatience kills compounding. When you jump systems, you reset the clock. Protect your timeline like it's oxygen, because every panic cell steals chapters from your future story. Luck and risk are siblings. They look alike from far away. Good decisions can end badly. Bad decisions can end well. The world is noisy, so don't judge outcomes without respecting hidden dice. Would you blame a sailor for calm seas or applaud them for storms avoided? Results lie. Process matters more. Build a process that works across seasons, not only during sunshine. Tails drive everything. A handful of outliers create most gains in markets and life. You don't need constant brilliance. You need to survive long enough to catch a few great tails. Investing isn't a daily IQ test. It's a stamina test. Boredom becomes your moat. Noise is the enemy. Quiet portfolios often beat flashy ones over decades because they endure the winters. Reasonable beats rational because we are humans, not robots. A good enough plan you can stick to outruns a perfect plan you abandon. Consistency compounds. Anxiety subtracts. Saving is your shock absorber. Income buys possibilities. Savings buy flexibility. The first part brings speed. The second part brings control, which keeps you on the road when corners get sharp. What if you saved for no specific reason, just to breathe easier? That cushion gives you options during chaos, letting you choose, not beg. Optionality is silent power. Freedom is the highest dividend money pays. Waking up and choosing how to spend your time beats luxury. It's the difference between owning your hours and renting your life. Beware the never enough trap. More is a moving target. Comparison stretches it further. Anchoring your identity to more bends your values until they snap under pressure. So define enough. Draw a clear line in the sand, then guard it. Enough creates boundaries around your peace, turning greed into gratitude and noise into quiet progress. Room for error is not weakness, it's wisdom. The future is foggy, so you need buffers. Margin of safety lets you be wrong and still survive, which keeps compounding alive. You design plans assuming sunshine or storms too. Build for both. Emergency cash, conservative debt, and simple portfolios help you sleep during thunder. Most financial mistakes come from stories we tell ourselves. We rewrite memories to defend our egos. Better to hold your opinions lightly and update often when reality taps your shoulder. Your personal history shapes your risk tolerance. If you grew up in scarcity, you might hoard. In abundance, you might gamble. Neither is wrong, but awareness lets you adjust the dials. Wealth is what you don't see. Money not spent, choices not flaunted. Flashy purchases are receipts, not results. The real flex is invisible, sitting quietly in your accounts. Spending to impress the crowd is a leaky bucket. Status signaling burns cash while feeding envy. Choose depth over display. The crowd's applause fades, your balance stays. Do you want to look rich or be rich? That choice shows up daily in small decisions, and it compounds. Quiet wins echo longest. Anchors can sink you. We anchor to recent prices, past highs, or childhood norms. Break those chains. Price is a story, value is a journey, and the future doesn't care about your anchors. Beware narrative fallacy. We crave neat stories, but markets are messy. When reality refuses your script, adapt quickly. Survival beats elegance every time. Diversification is accepting. You can't predict which flower will bloom. Spread seeds, water consistently, and let time choose winners. Concentration builds fortunes, but diversification keeps them. Volatility is the price of admission, not a fine. If you want long-term gains, you must tolerate wind and waves. Build a sturdy boat, not wish for calm seas. How much pain can you absorb without quitting the plan? That's your true risk tolerance, not a form you filled once. Face it honestly. Forecasts are seductive, but humility pays better. Admit you don't know the path, prepare for many. The more certain someone sounds, the more you should widen your margin. Beware leverage. Debt speeds you up, but it shortens your runway. When trouble hits, debt turns a stumble into a cliff. Remember, survival is non-negotiable. Save like a pessimist, invest like an optimist. Expect setbacks, but believe in progress. This balance lets you survive storms and harvest sunshine. You are not a spreadsheet. Emotions, habits, and sleep matter. A slightly lower return you can keep beats a higher one you abandon during panic. Are you designing your plan around who you are today or a perfect version of you tomorrow? Build for the real you. The real you is the one pressing sell. Beware the seduction of recent success. Markets cycle, leaders rotate. Yesterday's winners don't have to be tomorrow's kings, so keep your seatbelt fastened. Black swans exist. Rare, brutal events shape decades. A plan with buffers, boring rules, and humility survives the outliers that textbooks treat as footnotes. The highest return on money is peace of mind. Sleep is priceless. If your strategy costs you sleep, you're paying too much for returns you might never keep. Let's stitch these ideas. Getting wealthy requires offense. Staying wealthy needs defense. Use both hands, one to build, one to shield, and you'll last longer than most. Are your systems built to survive boredom and panic? If not, simplify. Simple and sticky beats, complex and brittle, especially when the storm sirens wail. Compounding rewards patience. Impatience taxes it. Every sudden move steals future growth. Breathe, zoom out, and let the snowball roll. Reasonable beats rational because your emotions drive the wheel. Build rules that respect feelings, automation, boundaries, cooling off periods, so you keep the plan when fear bites. Luck and risk coexist. Don't worship winners or condemn losers without context. Focus on process quality, which ages well across cycles and noise. Room for error isn't lazy, it's survival insurance. Cash buffers, modest goals, diversified bets, these turn chaos into inconvenience rather than catastrophe. Do you know your enough line, and do you guard it? Without it, desire expands forever, swallowing peace. With it, wealth starts feeling like freedom. Wealth is invisible. Spending is loud. Choose quiet growth over noisy proof. The market won't applaud, but your future self will. Diversify because tails drive outcomes. You don't need to pick the single star. You need to own a sky. Let time reveal which lights burn longest. Design for humility. Accept what you don't know. Prepare for what you can't see. This mindset keeps you compounding while others chase certainty and find cliffs. Now the lift. Money's purpose is control over your time, presence with people you love, and a quiet mind. The scoreboard is your calendar, not your car. What small change can you start today? Save 1% more, automate a transfer, cancel a vanity spend. Tiny gears turn big wheels when you let them spin long enough. Commit to a simple, boring plan that survives your worst moods. The magic isn't in brilliance, it's in not quitting when fear knocks at midnight. Let compounding work while you work on yourself. Skills and savings compound together. That's how freedom grows. Feed both, starve envy, and watch your options bloom. Close this chapter with humility and resolve. Your plan won't be perfect, but it can be resilient. Stay in the game, and the game pays you back. Let's push it further. Your childhood money story whispers every payday. Name it. When you see the script, you can rewrite the scenes without repeating old wounds. Are you saving to feel safe or saving to buy freedom? Both are valid, but knowing which one guides your choices. Aim your savings at the life you want. Every choice compounds: habits, friends, skills, and dollars. Align them. A boring routine that nudges up your savings rate each year becomes a quiet revolution over time. Respect cycles. Booms breed overconfidence. Busts breed despair. Your edge is emotional neutrality, a calm helm when waves rise and fall. Risk is what's left after you think of everything else. That's why margin matters. Stack buffers so surprises sting but don't sink you. Avoid single points of failure. One income, one stock, one lender. Redundancy is ugly when times are calm, beautiful when chaos knocks. Would you rather be occasionally wrong and alive, or perfectly right and ruined? Pick survival. Markets reward patience far more than correctness. Never outsource your conviction to headlines. Noise profits from your fear. Build rules that act while your emotions watch from the back seat. Automation is a kindness to your future self. Auto-investing, auto-saving, auto-bills, they reduce decision fatigue and close the door on impulse. When in doubt, shorten feedback loops. Check your savings monthly, not your portfolio daily. You'll reinforce the behavior that actually compounds. Define your quitting points before you start. What losses trigger rebalancing? What gains trigger gratitude? Pre-commitment beats panic. Rules beat moods. Is your plan clear enough to explain to a teenager? If not, it's too complex. Clarity scales. Confusion cracks under stress. Own boring assets in exciting times. Noise chasers burn out while steady hands keep planting. Your patience is a moat. Widen it. Let envy die of starvation. Unfollow triggers, limit comparison, and celebrate your lane. Peace loves privacy. Growth loves focus. Treat bear markets as tuition, not torture. Study what scared you, change what broke, and keep going. Experience becomes wisdom when you refuse to flinch. Recap round 2. Reasonable plans, not perfect ones. Margin of safety, not max returns. Freedom over flash and time over timing. What rule can you engrave today? Save first, invest automatically, ignore noise. One carved rule beats 10 forgotten ideas. Pick it, engrave it, act. Remember, most life-changing gains arrive late. The trick is staying solvent and sane until they do. That's the quiet battle worth winning. Don't glorify risk you don't need. You can win big and still lose the war if you blow up once. 1-0 deletes many tens. Your edge is behavior. Anyone can buy the same assets. Few can hold them through storms. Train your temperament like a muscle. Set boring defaults that protect you from your worst day. Automatic contributions, emergency cash, wide diversification. Defaults beat willpower when fear bites. Are you chasing a story or following a system? Stories thrill, systems endure. Choose systems, then let stories entertain, not guide. Keep cash for chaos, not for perfection. Cash buys time, time buys clarity, clarity buys better choices. That cycle saves you. Rebalance on a schedule, not a feeling. Discipline harvests gains and feeds laggards without drama. Feelings scream, schedules whisper. Protect your family first. Insurance, wills, passwords, backups. Wealth without safety is a castle with open gates. Lock it down before building higher. Assume events will shock you. Prepare anyway. When reality surprises, your buffers step in like quiet bodyguards, taking the hit while your plan keeps walking. Do you want less drama and more outcomes? Then normalize boredom. Boredom is where compounding breathes and grows. Teach what you learn. Explaining money to someone else strengthens your own rules. The lesson you give becomes the habit you keep. Celebrate small milestones. A higher savings rate, 1 year without panic selling, a paid-off debt. These are stones across the river. Keep stepping. If you feel behind, remember compounding's secret. It cares more about time than talent. Start now, keep going, and let time multiply your quiet efforts. Let's tighten the playbook. Define enough, automate savings, invest simply, diversify widely. Keep cash for chaos, reduce debt, and sleep deeply. Repeat until freedom shows up. What's one expense you can cut that won't dent joy? That tiny cut becomes a permanent raise. Redirect it toward freedom, not flair. Stop refreshing prices, refresh purpose. When your why is strong, the red days bruise less. Purpose is a painkiller the market can't price. Humility keeps you liquid. Arrogance stretches your neck into the guillotine of leverage and overconfidence. Walk softly, carry buffers. Remember the silent victories. Nights you slept well, mornings you ignored panic, months you saved anyway. These are bricks in your freedom wall. Your plan isn't art, it's scaffolding. It holds while you build the life you want. Adjust it as you rise, but don't kick it out mid-climb. Need permission to be boring? You have it. Boring pays, dramatic bleeds. Let others chase fireworks while you keep watering seeds. Keep learning, but respect diminishing returns on information. More data can mean more doubt. Know enough to act, then let time teach you gently. Close with honesty. You'll make mistakes. Make them survivable. The prize is not glory, it's freedom over your hours and presence in your life. So the story unfolds. Save humbly, invest simply, diversify wisely, and protect your downside. Let compounding and time do the heavy lifting while you live a life that feels like yours.